everyone, thanks for coming back. I've got Scott here. It's been a few weeks, actually about a month and a half since we last chatted. He's at his cottage now, back in Toronto in the cold. But we're gonna go over some recent QU success. Scott's views. Why he thinks there's been success, where he thinks things might be going. Just to intro it, when we first chatted, when we first did our first interview, QU had a rating of 0.16, now sitting at above 1.6. So about 1,000% growth since we last chatted. Tons of viewership increases as well as average watch time. First things first, Scott, how are you?
I'm pretty well, Jason. Thanks for asking. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. No complaints. It's getting colder, I guess, but hopefully I can play some hockey stuff. The Canadian blood. So gotta get that out. But look, I'll throw it over to you. What's your views on recent kind of QU success over the past 4 weeks? Let's call it. Obviously since we last chatted, some great success.
Well, it's a really exciting time when you launch a television channel. You work very, very hard to have programming that you think will appeal to your audience. And as you know, we're focused on young Indians. Our general definition is kind of 20 to 30-year-olds, which I love the stat. There are more 20 to 30-year-old Indians than there are Americans. So it gives you a sense of the size of the market. But it turns out that our appeal's wider, goes younger, probably down to the early teenage years, and goes older, to the higher end of a millennial. So call it kind of 15 to 35, men and women, but very desirable markets for advertisers. So millennials and Gen Zs, in particular in India, where it's just such a vibrant culture and the young people are so eager to be part of kind of what's happening in their country as it's going through a massive transformation and being modernized, and the rest of the world. And so we launched our channel, Q India. And the fact of the matter is, if we were part of a big organization, they would spend literally $20-30 million promoting the channel. It'd be on billboards and buses and subways, and rickshaws are a big, big thing in India. And it's the way you get around most of the major cities because they're so densely populated, to let the world know. As a matter of fact, I was last in India in November, and you can't go a block without seeing a massive billboard advertising Amazon Prime or Netflix. Both of those entities are going after the Indian market in a massive way. Reed Hastings, the CEO of Netflix, said the next 100 million Netflix customers will come from India. And Amazon's making a massive investment in the country as well. So that's tangible evidence of what content owners spend to market the availability of their service and their content. And in our case, look, we're crossing our fingers. We're reading the tarot cards, whatever it takes. And we've been really, really fortunate and pleased that the programming has really resonated, and we've seen really, really dramatic growth in viewership. We came in at 1.64. Gross rating points is a combination of the number of people actually viewing the channel and also time spent being a key metric. It does not include the people that are consuming our content on the phone. We have two massive distribution partnerships in India, one with QYOU, which I suspect most people in North America have never heard about, unless they've been following what Google and Facebook have done in the last 90 days. Facebook invested $6 billion in QYOU, and Google invested $4 billion in what's the world's largest cell phone company now. Why is it important? Well, they're our largest distribution partnership. Our second largest is called Bharti Airtel, and Amazon's rumored to be making a multi-billion-dollar investment in Bharti Airtel. So the stats that you were asking about with respect to our viewership do not include our mobile viewership, just the viewers on satellite and cable. And here's the one-liner, Jason, and it should be on its own billboard, because I'm a big fan of HBO. So this is not a shot at HBO. There are more people watching Q India, our television channel in India today, than are watching HBO.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, if I recall, in recent press releases, even the movie channel and a bunch of other stuff, the Q India was ahead. Amazing, some great adoption. And I know there's been recent stats too. Over 150 million views on one of your guys' breakout channels, which is great. So fantastic. I mean, do you want to give people maybe an idea of like, well, what's fueled this growth? Is it just, some good, one shot wonders, or would you say you guys are really finding your stride?
Well, I think if you went back into the annals of television, if you are a kind of a narrowly focused genre, you've got to be really good at that. And you look back to MTV. You and I think, may have talked about it before. In its heyday, when it first was launched, was the most profitable television network ever created. Why? Because their content costs were virtually free. The labels begged MTV to play the Madonna video, for example, to get her the exposure. That's not dissimilar from our business model. We try to be fair to our content providers, but we're not making original content. We actually may do that sooner than originally planned, because you can do it very inexpensively and get some good product in India. But generally speaking, we're trying to find undiscovered gems in the digital world. A lot of it is on YouTube in India, Hindi language. Everything we do is in the Hindi language. And there's a lot of fantastic content. I mean, people are aware that Bollywood produces, excellent production quality movies. Well, the same thing's taking place with respect to short form video. And I'm talking the 2-3 minute videos, whether this is about, action sports, or the kid on the skateboard jumping off the car with a parachute off the mountain, or whether it's about surfing or dance or pranks or comedy or cooking. It's hip cooking, a lot of hip cooking stuff. Devotional is quite popular on QYOU India in the mornings in India as well. So we have had some very popular programming, but the key is bring an audience that's never heard of QYOU India, millennials and Gen Zs, have them discover, hey, this is pretty cool, hip stuff here. It's really another discovery mechanism for them. They can go to their phone for YouTube, they can see what's most popular, but we're not feeding them the most popular. We're trying to find the stuff that isn't the most popular, but maybe should be, because it's really cool. And so it's another discovery mechanism. I mean, the stat that's, mind numbing, I thought it was mind numbing when 5 years ago, there was 100 hours of video uploaded every minute to YouTube. Today, it's 600 hours every minute to YouTube on a global basis. So how do you see, how do you weave through that as a consumer? And, YouTube does a decent job at trying to give you popular stuff or tools to surf different genres. And so we're another discovery mechanism. And I think the evidence of our viewership really taking off is that we are finding gems and we're repackaging them. So unlike YouTube, where you've got to, you move around a website and the automated video player will play you one and then the next one and the next one, we're packaging them. And we'll take a digital creator's content, put it into a 24-minute segment, leaving 6 minutes for advertising, and then showcase that. We are a linear TV channel on cable and satellite. In other words, at 9 a.m., there's devotional content, and at noon, there's a cooking show. Again, for millennials, music's going, it's hip, blah, blah, blah. And then late day, it might be a prank show, something of that nature. But you can also consume that through the carrier, through our cable and satellite distribution partnership carriers, through their apps. On video on demand, you can go back and look at old content. You can look at what's coming. You can look at content from creators that wasn't even shown on the linear channel because they've licensed that to us as well. So it's the whole bouquet. The whole point, and we've talked about this before, is you got to create something wants to watch, which we've done. You've got to get the distribution. We're now up to over 600 million. Our content available in over 600 million homes or end devices. And then you monetize it. And that's the phase that we're racing into as we speak.